Hit that like button, hit that sub button, follow that IG page, man. Let's get straight into it. I want to go to the No Jumper YouTube page, No Jumper Clips, man. Shout out to y'all. And this is Adam actually talking about Joe Budden, but this clip says Adam apologizes to Joe Budden and gives an update on their beef. Now, I don't think he's gonna apologize for like literally beefing them and clowning them, but he probably apologizing for like some delusional shit he said or something like that, man. Let's see what he actually apologizing for.
Sleepy Joe.
Sleepy Joe. Right. I'm not discounting that. I'll actually rather like speak on the state of the Joe Budden thing as well. People today.
Did y'all have any encounters out there?
He's not really Sleepy Joe like right now because he had got born for a minute. He wasn't on his everyday struggle shit. But recently, Joe been turning up. He been turning up on your ass, Adam.
No. Okay. I saw them plot on me a little bit on their show. They're like, he's out here right now. What are you going to do, Joe?
No, I was outside. They wasn't outside?
No, I don't think
he was at his favorite strip club. He wasn't there?
I mean, he can't go every night, right?
So there's an update, though, on how you feel about it? Or
it's not really an update. It's just kind of like, I have one thing that I wish that I want to apologize for, which is that I would just like to acknowledge, and I was watching a clip of myself on Danny from the Stops podcast, and I think he was asking me about like kind of how me and Joe ended up on bad terms. And I listed off a series of different events and stuff, but I feel like there's one thing that I still have a degree of guilt about, which is basically I allowed our platform to be used in what I now consider to be a relatively irresponsible manner when they posted about this Joe Budden stuff. I didn't take the time to really like do an analysis to see if I thought that it was appropriate or not to be posted. And then when he hit me up, I was kind of callous to him in how I responded to him. And when
I know how Adam is behind his content, man. Now this was an IG post. I'm thinking of like some domestic violence type of situations. And Adam feel bad about this because we all know Adam22 or Adam16, as a lot of people like to call him, has had many allegations. You feel me? I'm gonna just call them allegations. I ain't gonna say he's that, but he has many allegations. So that's why he apologizing, I think, not because he just hurt his feeling, because he don't want nobody doing that same shit to him. Because Joe Budden, academics, all these guys could easily use their platforms to dig into the sadistic behavior that this man has displayed in the past, especially before he found fame. He was really out here goddamn running amok. Now, it did help him get to where he is and help him become, the heartless, soulless motherfucker that he is now. That makes him able to capitalize and push shit to the limits. But at the same time, they don't be doing that shit to him. So y'all know Adam, man. Every once in a while, somebody will post some wild shit and, he get backlash for it. But him using his platform to like post some bullshit, that's nothing new in my eyes. Like, you do that all the time.
When I was kind of like replaying the events in my mind, I do feel bad about that. And I would just like to acknowledge that as much as I still have anger towards, the nickname still stands, Sleepy Joe Budden, I do have, resentment about how things.
How can you be apologizing to a nigga and clowning them at the same time? That's why this apology is not going to probably get accepted by Joe.
Went down when he basically had me on his radio show or whatever. But I do have to acknowledge my own complicity in it, which is basically, I don't like the way that I handled that when that shit was posted about him on the social media. So I would like to apologize to Joe Budden for that, despite the state of affairs. I do look back on that time regretfully. And I wish that I had been a little bit more considerate of.
I've always fucked with Joe, and he's always been a huge supporter of battle rap and always said positive shit about me. So I would, if you and him wind up transcending whatever y'all got going on, that'd be dope. But you feel me?
Right. I mean,
shout out to that nigga Lush, man. That nigga Lush is back in the goddamn building. Sharp tried to X him out, but Lush came back like a wrecking ball. You feel me? And I ain't gonna lie, man. Lush was a bad fit with the last cast because they turned it into a shit show and just started joking on the boy all the time. But now he's back, man. We all know Lush has the knowledge of hip-hop. We all know Lush can carry a conversation. But I will say, goddamn, that nigga Lush talk a lot, man. Shout out to Brick Baby too, though, man. I think Brick Baby is kind of making a mistake because he's turning the Joe Budden beef into a beef with himself too, because he coming at Joe Budden kind of strong. Just pay attention to what Brick Baby about to say. Let me rewind it a little bit.
And wind up transcending whatever y'all got going on, that'd be dope. But you feel me?
Right. I mean,
like, fuck it, man.
because when Danny was interviewing me, Danny did say like,
Brick say I'll be like, fuck a nigga, you feel me? Brick say I'll be like, fuck a nigga. Now, Brick got enough shit going on, man. You gotta be making friends in this podcast and shit, Brick. You can't be fighting Adam battles, because one day, you know, God forbid, if you and Adam22 separate, man, you're gonna be having to fuck with some of these other niggas out here. You gotta think about it like this, man. Adam22 still gonna be cool with these motherfuckers. The 22ster still gonna be cool with Joe in the long run. Still gonna be cool with Academics in the long run. All these niggas that you over here, you know, riding for Adam over. I'm telling you.
basically like, do you think that you and Joe are going to ever get back to a better place? My response was basically like, well, if he's been mad at Vlad for some stupid shit for like 15 years, then I don't really know what's going to get us back to a better place. And I was talking more tactically in that clip in terms of like, what is going to get us to that point. I don't really know what's going to get us to that point, but at least on my end, I do need, in order to be honest with myself, I need to acknowledge I don't like the way that I handled that. So,
but you and Ack was at each other and then got past it. You feel me, on multiple occasions. So like, it's true. And I don't feel like any like bridges have been burnt to the
a little bit more stubborn.
He is stubborn for sure.
It definitely is. Ack is more open to discussing shit. Joe's whole persona is a little bit more stubborn. It's probably why you carrying the beef, how you doing it. But at the end of the day, what did you post about him? Because all is fair in war.
It wasn't me, and we weren't at war at this time. At this time, we were supposed to be on good terms. I think this was after I appeared on his show. Oh wait, no, was it? I can't remember.
Well, your appearance on his show and like kind of feeling like you got ganged up on and like low key lined up to a degree. Is that kind of what set it off? And that was always my interpretation of it. Like you kind of started looking
like how you did Flacco, nigga. The whole reason Flacco wanted to goddamn run a fade with you. Yeah, how y'all lined him up. Nah, I'm just playing, man. Everybody know that was goddamn Adam22 fault. And then he fuck around and fired that nigga Lush over that shit.
Looking at him differently from that point.
The big events that I focused on was the fact that when I went on his show, I was perceived as doing very well in that debate. And then after that, I felt Joe was resentful about the fact that I did a little bit of a victory lap, whatever. And then there was a time when he had me on his radio show and basically used it as an opportunity to shit on me when I was already in kind of a bad spot PR-wise. So whatever. All I'm saying is about the other thing, the no jumper post. It was a post about, you know, some DV shit in regards to like his past relationship, but we're talking about something from like 10 years ago. This is not, or probably longer than that. You know, I just wanted to. I'm not like trying to like, you know, wave the white flag fully because our shit relates to other shit.
Nigga say it's still up, motherfucker.
Shit. Aside from that. But I just needed to acknowledge from my own
accountability,
a little bit of accountability.
That's
even if I added
right
a whole shit of different stipulations to it.
Now, okay, speaking of stipulations, back to the no op talk thing. If other people continue getting at you, is that truce? I want to say, I don't know what you want to call it.
I'm not even thinking of like a truce. I'm just thinking like I will do my mocking privately because I don't really feel the need to make that a segment of my content on a consistent basis. Like,
man, fuck that. I don't want to hear that shit, man. I actually like when that nigga Adam22 be beefing with motherfuckers. You feel me? As much shit as we talk about how he need to stop that shit and cut it out and all that, man. Fuck that. I want to see that shit because why not? You feel me? It's keeping it interesting. See, one thing about Adam, man. No matter what they say about the platform, bro, if it's fucked up in the moment and it's gang wars and motherfuckers want to fight and all that shit, you know what Adam gonna do? He gonna slowly like put a stop to the shit, but at the same time, that nigga is gonna lean into that shit all the way and give the people what they want to see. He was kind of talking about that on the new podcast that he did with the boy Academics, man. Y'all gotta make sure y'all go actually watch that because that was a pretty good podcast, you know. Way I go where you can't go. Nigga jumped done, put a hole in this can't go. Walking out the bank with a bankroll. Walking out the safe with some blanks, I'ma take those. This shit bang from the Ace to Laredo. Everybody know Ted Bueno.